Okay, welcome to the Yoga Teacher Experiment. My name is Ryan Rockwell, where for 30 days I live at an ashram and truly try to heal my life through the power of yoga. I give up certain addictions and embrace truly almost a daily meditation and asana practice just to see what happens. Now, I'm not trying to be anyone's teacher through this. I'm not trying to be anyone's guru. This is simply about embracing the power of yoga to see how it changes my life. With that said, enjoy the experiment. So, what I heard or something was that he walked inside. There was like people smoking weed or something, and put their feet up on the table, and they were like, "So tell me about this yoga thing."
Swami. He would tell the story. He'd go like this. Swami Satchidananda would be talking in satsang. He'd act like he had a joint. So tell us about this yoga, Swami. And before long, he had whipped everybody into pretty good shape. This building was put in as our school building, see, our first school building. And then we put in that building later on, and we had the young kids in here and the older kids in there. And at one time, I think we had close to 45 children in school.
Jeez.
And we had like 15 teenagers at an ashram. You think that wasn't a trip. Unfortunately, our school is closed down now because we ran out of children. I did my part, but that wasn't enough.
The thing is that, so it seemed, I cried all the way across the country because I was really scared about moving to an ashram. Because I thought, okay, these people have been doing yoga forever. They're probably really experts. They're probably really enlightened. They probably have halos and wings flapping.
Right.
And I'm going to bring my 5 rambunctious children into this environment. And I was very, very, very nervous about it.
Well, that's just like any beginner who has all these assumptions about what yoga is and that you have to be,
Right.
I mean, especially what you're seeing online these days. You're seeing people do these crazy, crazy poses.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to argue whether that's good or bad or anything between, but it does often make people think I have to be really flexible in order to do this.
Yes.
Right.
You
That's
know.
so sad.
Yeah, because we have so many
So
misconceptions about yoga
Yeah.
from what we see, unfortunately,
Yes.
on social media.
Which is a lot of hatha yoga.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we came in, frankly, to integral yoga through meditation.
Hmm.
So for us, the hatha was secondary. The meditation was our angle in. And I think that's really held us in good stead all this time, because hatha, although both of us took teacher training and learned how to teach hatha and all, just that wasn't our main focus.
Yeah. See, Gurudev gave us all 6 yogas, right? He said you can do what your natural inclination is. So if your natural inclination is to work, you're a karma yoga. It's to sit and do repetition, mantra yoga. You know, if you want to study, Raja Yoga. If you want to do analysis, and Jnana Yoga,
And
Hatha Yoga in there too, with of course diet and the pranayama too. Basically God is everywhere, right? Because God doesn't have the option of not being itself, right? And this is all God. But we don't know that because the cloud of Maya in our mind. Our minds are clouded, so we don't see it. So, I look at you, I see Ryan, but in fact, you're God. Look at Rick, I see Rick, but in fact, that's God, manifest as you. So when you do a puja, you ask God to reveal itself to you. And that's what a puja is. So we do puja every day at Chidambaram, and most days here, also at Kailash. And this is to Nataraj, and Chidambaram is to the Shiva Lingam, which is a representative of the Absolute, and also to Gurudev, because Gurudev is enshrined in Chidambaram. So every day we replenish that energy through our pujas, through our meditations also.
There's so many stories.
Let me ask you, so we've got people that, especially when you have children, you want to, and again, I'm someone who's single, never had any kids, but I can only imagine that you have your children. These are these precious beings to you. And it's like you want to do everything that you can to give them the best upbringing possible. And obviously there's probably a lot of families out there that are called, that have connected with yoga and that have thought about moving to an ashram. And what advice would you give a family?
Come. I would say come, but also Gurudev said, when people ask to come here, tell them all the hard things that they'll experience, because it is difficult. This is a huge commitment, a huge thing. And Gurudev would say, when you come to the ashram, you're stepping into my living room. And when you make that choice, Ryan, the Guru moves in your life in huge, huge ways. Just like you were saying earlier, all kinds of things bubble up and happen, and you have all these things that you never thought you would ever have to go through, living at an ashram and all. But that's part of it. We've asked for that by coming to the ashram. You're asking that you want to be on the fast track.
During my yoga teacher training, like I told you, I would come back once a month. At the time, I would tell people, I would say I was Christian. I would go to church. And when I told people that I came here, and I told them that they had the Lotus Temple, which had a tribute to each one of the religions around the world, they were like, well, how did you feel to see Jesus Christ on the same, field as everyone else? And I said, it made sense. And they're like, well, pray for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, that is the problem. I mean, these are all legitimate paths, but if you only think that your path is the only way, that's where the conflict starts.
Right.
So the important thing to remember about an ashram is it's for spiritual growth. It's not a place where you're going to make money. It's not a place where you're going to get rich. It's not a place where you may not even have, the relationships that you want at an ashram. It's for cleaning your mind and your heart so that you realize yourself. That's the purpose of it. That's what an ashram is for. And that's what I would tell anyone who wants to come. That's the purpose of it. It's set up for that. It's not comfortable all the time because some of the purges that happen to you are very, very painful.
Yeah.
Gurudev said, though, be clear.
Yeah.
You're coming to do your spiritual work.
Yeah.
You're coming to get that done.
You can make your home an ashram. Just follow the guidelines.
Like you're doing. Your new
kick out
that you're on.
Kick out the non-yogic practices or whatever, or not practices, but, inclinations you have, and fill in the yogic practices. Do some meditation, do some hatha, do some service, eat clean food, give up the deleterious practices, alcohol, drugs, You don't have to completely give up rock and roll because you listen to a little, but, feed in some good chanting into your home, clean up your home, have it nice and neat and clean so when people come in, they feel comfortable and just live your life in a serviceful, beautiful way. You can do that anywhere. You don't have to be at an ashram to do it.
Do you want to om, or do you say om or something? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Why not? Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be ever filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness.
Victory to that light.
Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Mitch and I were working in here, and he came walking in. Oh, Swamiji, Hari Om. And he was giving us instruction. I want this done like this done. And we had the vault set in there, and at first it was only this high because he was going to be interred in lotus posture. But when he passed in India, he was not in lotus posture, so we couldn't put him in lotus posture here, so we had to build it up, and the body is standing there, right where I was, right where I touched, that's the feet. And so he was looking at that. And in the corner, we had learned that when you inter a body like this, you take all the air out of there with a pump, and then it delays the decomposition over the years, over the centuries even. So we put the pipe in there, and he walked in. He's looking at it and says, "What's that pipe?" And Mitra explained what I just explained to you. And he said, He said, "I thought it was for a telephone line. They're not even going to leave me alone when I'm dead." And I walked out. We're all laughing. For a telephone line. He would really love these. Oh man. He would have loved them.
Really, I feel very like out of it. You know, I'm not sure if it's the nicotine. I'm not sure if it's lack of sex. I think it's lack of sex. Just, yeah, no coffee. I just feel out of it. Feel tired, out of it. I don't know. I don't know. I guess this is how I would expect to feel after, coming off of coffee. I didn't start drinking coffee till I was 32 years old. I just feel like I'm in a fog, but I know I have to do this. It just feels really important. On the next episode of the Yoga Teacher Experiment, the Satchidananda Ashram podcast wants to interview me. Plus, the experiment keeps getting harder and harder and harder each day that goes by. Another entertaining episode you want to check out.